Check it out, the Husqvarna Hedge Master 320iHD60. Boy, there's a lot of numbers in there. Here's what we need to know. This is a 24-inch, double-sided, battery-powered hedge trimmer, brand new out by Husqvarna. Quite an exciting tool. Really love some of the unique features. Some things I want to peek at with you today as we go over this product, see if this is the right product for you. There's a lot of benefits to a battery-powered hedge trimmer, but there's also some drawbacks. So benefit to the battery-powered hedge trimmer is traditionally weight. Okay, so that's one thing I get a lot of comments on. I love the weight of my battery hedge trimmer. Also, exhaust, right? I'm a lot of times running this up, honestly, against a wall of sorts, a shrub, a hedge wall, and that exhaust is just, it's around me, so I'm getting kind of nauseous from the exhaust. So the exhaust is not there with the battery one. Weight, exhaust, running. You know how often for a lot of people, a commercial operator, totally different story and stick with gas in a lot of those applications. But as a homeowner, how often do you break a hedge trimmer out? Honestly, let's think about it. A couple times a year? 3 times a year? No more than that. So these suckers with gas, they sit and we all of a sudden start fighting fuel issues. So this is one of my favorite products to look at in battery is honestly a hedge trimmer. And that's because I'm getting rid of some of these problems that we see in the gas world. And a hedge trimmer traditionally is a very efficient running machine. So our runtime is going to be in the range of an hour or more, which is more than enough to get the job done. And if it's not enough, well, the mess that I made in that hour, by the time I've cleaned that up, this battery is back and ready to rock. So I love that. But here's the drawback to some of the hedge trimmers. They're usually short blades. They're usually small cuts. They're usually slow shuffles per minute, blade tips, blade speed. So let's look at it. I think Husqvarna has solved these problems. So if you look, let's get good and close. We have a very nice opening. It's larger than my finger. So we can cut a healthy size piece of material. Love that. It's a 24-inch long. So that's a good bar length. You know, honestly, I'm just under 6 foot. That gives me a length to reach down to the ground without bending over. Also, look at that sweep up. I can get so much higher and I can cover the top of a hedge. So that is awesome. So we really looking at, we've got 3,800 shuffle per minute, slides per minute, blade speed. I don't know reciprocations per minute. I don't really know what they call that. I always struggle with that one. That's fast. That's going to be a fine, clean cutting blade. We've got a large gap and we've got a big blade, 24 inches. That's nice. We also have this integrated leaf rake. Some people will like this depending on what your application is. This slides on and off. And if you're dealing with a fine leaf, a leafy green hedge, think boxwood, that sort of thing, privet hedge stuff. As I'm hedging, this is actually pushing the material over and I can kind of push it off the hedge so it's not laying on it when I'm done. And then in 3 weeks, I've got all these brown leaves on top of the hedge. So it just cleans up that hedge a lot. Another thing that we've added to this hedge trimmer, it's really kind of funky. Look at this. I have 3 handles on the back. 1, 2, 3. And 3 switches on the back. 1, 2, 3. What that does is it allows me to flip this hedge trimmer to the side and look at my wrist. It's ergonomic there. It's correct. I'm not bending it in a weird thing. So long term, this is going to be a very comfortable hedge trimmer to use. Comes with the BLI 22 battery. Good. I want to say this is a 4 amp hour, a 4.4 amp hour. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to look straight up 4. I got it right. This is a 4 amp hour battery. The weight and balance of this battery in this machine is great. It feels good. It's not too heavy. If so wanted, you could get the BLI 30 battery. You can put a larger battery in, which would increase your runtime, but it may not be as comfortable to run. And like I said, a hedge trimmer is usually efficient machine. So usually you're running an hour or more out of a hedge trimmer on the battery. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn it on. And that's pushing this button right here. We're going to turn it on. It's on. And you're going to notice there's a couple other buttons. So we've got what's called an R, and we'll talk about that. And we've got this 3 or 4 arrows up. That's a turbo mode. So right now is standard. I'm going to hold my front safety lever, pull the trigger, and we're going. So we'll put it in turbo or power mode. I don't think you need to do that very often, but sometimes if you're doing, I would say you want more power, not necessarily in heavier material, but in finer material. We're trying to get like the ultimate cut quality. So listen here, boom. And it's a pretty noticeable speed difference. Try it out on your hedge, see what works best. But I think you're gonna find a lot of the times you can just run on the standard mode. And then we have this R. And that really is called a reverse, but it's not really a reverse. It takes the pressure off the blades and the blades go back about probably like a 1/16 of an inch or a 32nd of an inch. So if you get jammed, you're coming across the top of a hedge and you hit 4 or 5 large branches and the thing just jams. Well, the battery machines, generally speaking, don't have enough power to push through it. The gas sometimes do, but the battery don't. So you have that ability, and now you're stuck, right? You're stuck into that. You can't get it out. You hit this R button and it, boom, back. It's about a quarter of the rotation that it goes back. That's just gonna open those teeth up. I can now remove it from that cluster that I've dove into, right? Those 5, 6 branches that are jamming it. And now I can either come at it and cut 1 or 2 at a time, or I can get my loppers or hand pruners out, which probably I should do anyways because they're too big. So check it out, the brand new Hedge Master 320iHD60 at Carl's Mower and Saw. We've got a full line of Husqvarna power equipment. One of our favorite hanging on the wall right now is this hedge trimmer. It's balanced, it's got power, it cuts nice, the performance is there, and it's a proven battery platform by Husqvarna that's been out for several years and is running all kinds of equipment out there. We look forward to seeing you soon at Carl's Mower and Saw. We're here to help you pick the right machine for your property.